Alright, so the sharks are on the rampage, so I'm going to retire the jigging for now, or at least on this wreck. But a quick review of this jigging rod I just got, or my first replacement of it. But this is in one of the Offshore Anglers, which is an affiliate, or it's a brand under Bass Pro Shops, Worldwide Sportsman. And it's kind of their version of a Shimano Travala rod, or any of the jigging rods basically. Nice parabolic rod. So this is the Ocean Master OM66XXHT, which is 6 foot 6 inch, extra heavy. It's set up for 7.5 to 13.5 ounce lures and 80 to 200 pound line. So I've got it rigged with a Shimano Torium 65 braid. I'm running a 40 pound mono on it at the moment. Right now it's I don't think it's the right rod specifically for tunas and bonita specifically, because the way the action is very heavy, so it'll make a great grunt rod for like amberjacks, grouper, big muttons, the sharks, where it's a constant heavy pressure on it. But the problem I'm reeling in these bonitas and tunas, the fast movers, is that it's got kind of such a heavy tip that I lift and then it basically springboards them straight up. It turns their head straight up, and then they're kicking, so they start rocketing it up, and then I'm on slack line again. Then I'm reeling in dead air, and then it takes a while to catch up, and by that time they turn down, and then it's whack back down again. So it's a rough reel up with this thing. Whereas, like I said, if you have a bigger consistent fish like a grouper, or especially one of the big amberjacks off the wrecks, where it's just dog nose down and you're just grunt holding, trying to turn them, then I think this is more apt to it. Outside of that, I think for a kayak, the butt is a bit too long for setting in your hip. I'm extended kind of far out trying to get leverage for it. So if it wasn't going to kill the warranty, I'd probably cut off 2 or 3 inches so I could tuck it in a little bit closer and have better leverage. That also, well, no, because I tuck it under my arm. But another problem I have, 2 problems I have, is one is the reinforcement for the reel. And this does not really have to do with them, but somehow my other rods, I don't have this problem. But with this conventional, and I'm holding it generally like this when I'm jigging, doing this motion, that's right there on my wrist, digging in. And that constant pressure on it, it just starts rubbing in your wrist there and makes it uncomfortable. And the other part that's not good is also on the grip part of it, is where they have these threads, they have the cushion way up here. But when you're jigging, because when you're using a conventional, you're guiding the line on, you're not really way up here, and you want to get quicker reactions. You're not swinging like this, you're down here trying to get the short flicks. So I'm grabbing it by the base and then feeding the line like that. My hand is gripping these threads. It's not even on this cushion part. So it'd be nice if this was all the way down and I'm holding on to cushion. Again, it's something I don't have with my other jigging rods. So that's kind of a but otherwise, on a boat it'd probably be a little bit better because of the long butt. I probably wouldn't be such an issue. After I got it on sale and using my little gift card discount trick, I got it for $100. So compared to a Travala at 150, 160 bucks, it's probably worthwhile. I think I would use my noodle rod. My 8.5 foot $30 trolling rod that I'm use a lot is much better for these tunas and bonitas, because it's such a long noodle type rod where it's a medium bow to it, that when they run there's always pressure on them. Even when I lift, there's definitely digging down pressure on it, but even when I'm reeling down, there's always a bow and there's always up pressure on it. So it seems to keep more constant pressure on it. Well, I definitely feel it here where I'm springboarding them up, pulling that head up, and they're kicking straight up, and it feels like I lose them every time I do that. So I don't know. I would give this rated C minus. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling it. I think I'll use it for what I thought I would use it for, is when I get on I'll use my other rod for general jigging. Then if I run into some big amberjacks or big sharks or big jewfish or something like that, then I'll throw this on there and then have more of a chance for those big bruisers. But for this moderate stuff, I like my Travalas or my noodle rod. So that's my review on this guy. Oh, I'll also add the action on the rod is not bad. The last two jigs I went from a 3.5 to a 5. Like I said, this one's rated from 7.5 to 13, so that affects it. It handled those lighter weights okay. I just had to make the smaller movements. But when I fought that shark and I broke that tip off, I broke it off right about there. It was about 5 inches. It was out the second eye there. That wasn't too good. I think part of their design, I would get, if I was going to get a heavy rod for heavy jigging, they have this model in a 6-foot version. I think it's just a 1X extra heavy, not an extra heavy, but it's a 6-foot, so you lose 6 inches off that top. And looking at it when I was over there, I should have got that, but it looks like it basically just chopped it off, moved the guides down, and the thickness of the top part of it was definitely there. I think for them to make this kind of a jigging rod, they made a very weak tip on it so to get the spring in effect. But that weak tip, when you're picking up a heavy fish, it's going to snap on you. And I have a feeling that's going to be a constant problem for these. Going for a longer, heavy duty rod for big fish, you're better off with a shorter, stouter, and losing a little bit of flexibility in the jigging for that brute strength of it. So just an added thing there.